Hi, my name's Tom McGee. I'm from British Columbia, Canada, residing in Vancouver. I'm the 1982 World Super Heavyweight Powerlifting Champion, and at last year's World's Strongest Men's competition, I was the first runner-up. My goal this year is a modest one. I'd like to improve my position by 1 spot.
I'm Simon Wills from Holland, and I'm Europe's strongest man.
Hello, my name is John Gamble. I'm the strength coach at the University of Virginia. I'm the current heavyweight world powerlifting champion.
I am Jón Páll Sigmarsson from Iceland, and I have been traveling further than any other competitor to get here, so I must make every mile count.
I'm Chris Okonkwo from Nigeria, shot put and hammer thrower, Olympic lifter, heavy events, and Highland Games.
I'm Alan Holbig from Dunedin, New Zealand. When I don't move heavy weights, I work for an insurance company. Can I interest you in a policy?
Hello, my name's Jeff Capes. I'm from Holbeach in Lincolnshire, England. I finished 4th, 3rd and 2nd in the world's strongest man. Maybe it's my turn this time.
I'm Joel Kennedy from the United States. I've been the super heavyweight world champion twice. I currently hold the world record in the deadlift at 890 pounds, and this is my first time in the World Strongman's Contest.
In the land of the Kiwi, they say no city is more typically English than Christchurch. Well, the place is rooted in the dream of English Episcopalians of the last century, creating this city of the flame. And there are green and pleasant glades dreaming in the sunshine. But the statue of Captain Scott is a reminder of the proximity of Antarctica. The architectural mishmash is completed by echoes of unbeautiful downtown Burbank. An intriguing setting for this confrontation between 8 strong men from 4 continents doing battle for the Homelink Trophy and the title, the world's strongest man. Walking tours are a popular feature of this city of Christchurch, and that's exactly what the 8 athletes here are going to do. Have a little walk. The only problem is that as they walk, they're going to carry a tree trunk in each hand. Each of these trunks weighs 175 pounds. There are 2 circuits here, and the time is 90 seconds. The longest distance achieved in that time will, of course, be the winner, or to the point where the log is drawn. The Fergus Walk is a new event to every competitor here, so what's going to happen? Well, your guess is as good as anyone. Here in Cathedral Square in Christchurch, the local man, Alan Holberg, takes on the tough American powerlifter, Doyle Kennedy. Anyone who's ever run for a train lugging 2 heavy suitcases will have some small idea of the problem in this event. Oh, and that's a disaster for Kennedy, halfway around the first circuit, and his grip went. But the local man, Alan Holberg, is showing that this is a Canadian event that can be mastered by a Kiwi. And he completes 1 3/4 circuits. A good start for him. I asked strength coach John Gamble what were the difficulties of the Fergus Walk.
Well, in this event, I think that it's mostly grip. Because if you know, like I think the leg strength and shoulder strength will hold. But as for the grip, some of the guys have big hands and small hands. And I think it's going to come down to who has the strongest grip.
Okay, now could I put you on the spot and ask who you rate in this event?
I think Jeff Capes rates as the #1 competitor in this event.
Well, let's see if Jeff Capes fulfills that prediction made by his opponent here, John Gamble. And Gamble goes for the slow and steady approach. But Big Jeff is building up quite a head of steam. Let's see which technique works out the best. The one thing everybody was agreed on, don't change your grip. So, 1 circuit for John Gamble. Jeff Capes goes charging on. And this is good going. 2 complete circuits. Now he's trying to adjust, but it's gone. But the best so far.
thank you. But I couldn't hold on to it.
Forearm's cranked too much.
My right arm was just hanging on the left arm. When I was trying to move it, it just slipped out.
How did it feel? Was it really tough, that one?
No. No, if I could just change my grip on my left hand, it would have gone. No problem. But because I couldn't hold on to the grip, I couldn't go any further. I dropped my left one and I still on to my right. No problem. Oh, that'll be beaten. No problem, you know. I think Wolfser, I'll run around with it.
Well, let's see if Seaman Wolfser does run round with it, as Chris Okonkwo does his float like a butterfly routine. And we've got two sprinters here. Chris's plan of campaign is obviously to gallop on until he can hang on no more. And there it goes, just short of 2 complete circuits. And Wolfser beats that mark and stops just short of the mark set by Jeff Capes. Now it's Canada versus Iceland. Tom McGee versus the extrovert Viking, John Paul Sigmarsson. And he's so keen to get at it that he stumbled as he set off, and he's already building up quite a lead over McGee. McGee, the Canadian, is looking very unhappy tackling an event from his native land. Can Sigmarsson hang on for a few more paces and beat Jeff Capes' mark? And he does. He beats Capes by about a couple of feet. And that's the end of the road for McGee, and very different reactions from the two men. Was John Paul pleased with his performance?
Very pleased.
Now, what were you shouting there as you were going around? You were saying, Southern, Southern. What's that mean?
I'm a little bit crazy.
You're a little
Yes, when I'm competing.
You go crazy?
Yeah, I have to do it crazy.
What, you do all the posing, and you were really getting angry with yourself, weren't you?
Yeah, I have to. It helps.
First blood to Sigmarsson and a maximum 8 points. Jeff Capes happy to settle for 7, and Seaman Wolfser of Holland in 3rd place there with 6. These are bars of hot-rolled steel and go all the way from this rather slender one of 12 millimeters up to this whopping 19 millimeter thickness. The object of the exercise is devastatingly simple. The athlete takes a bar in each hand like this, and either over the back of the neck, over the top of the head, or would you believe, between the teeth, will bend it until the ends fit into this gauge, this 8-inch gauge in front of him. This is an event in which Jeff Capes of England, in 9 major competitions so far, has never been beaten. We join it at the 14 millimeter stage with Nigeria's Chris Okonkwo, Britain's Jeff Capes, Holland's Seaman Wolfser, and John Gamble from the United States of America. This is a fierce arm exercise with a strong potential for injury. And look out here for the Cape speed. He really inflicts grievous bodily harm on this hot-rolled steel bar. But it looks as if the other competitors have copied his technique to great effect. Wolfser of Holland in particular gave it the treatment, and all were successful. Under royal patronage, we move to the 15 millimeter thickness. And that 1 extra millimeter makes a tremendous difference. Going in this heat, John Paul Sigmarsson, Alan Hallberg, Tom McGee of Canada, and Doyle Kennedy. This is an event where main strength is just not enough. It needs that explosion of power to build up the friction, to heat up the bar at the pressure point and make it more pliable. If no one succeeds in bending the ends to fit into the gauge, the degree of bend will be measured. And it looks to me as if Tom McGee is going to come as he runs out of time. So it's down to this group to produce a clear winner. Can Simon Wulfse maintain the speed and attack we saw at the 14mm stage? And remember, Jeff Capes has never been beaten in bar-bending events. But it's Simon Wulfse in the middle there who seems to have learned the lesson of the Capes technique and really attacks the bar, and we could have the makings of a sensation here. Wulfse has made it, and there's joy in the Dutch camp. Jeff is well aware of that success, and that makes a hard task harder yet. Chisakonkwo looks like he's calling it a day. Jeff struggles on, but he knows when enough is enough, and so does John Campbell. Maximum points for Simon Wulfse. Tom McGee makes up a little for the disappointment of the first event with 7, and Capes has to be content with 6 in an event which he was expected to win. And after 2 events, Europe's strongest man Simon Wulfse of Holland is looking good, Jeff Capes is on his heels, and young John Paul Sigmarsson keeps Tom McGee out of the top 3. The deadlifting event usually becomes a war of attrition. And the dour Victorian John Godley, the founder of Canterbury, would, I'm sure, approve of this marathon struggle. We're already an hour into the competition as you join us. In the hot sunshine, the tension is terrific for these competitors. The weight is in the form of these slabs of best New Zealand cheddar cheese. 405 kilograms, that's 893 pounds, which would fill an awful lot of mousetraps. Jeff Capes has stubbornly battled it out pound for pound with the powerlifters. And this will be a personal best if he can clear it. Almost 300 pounds more than he's ever deadlifted before. What an achievement. Two hours on, and this is round 19. There are still 5 men left in this amazing competition. America's Doyle Kennedy, world record holder, a specialist in this event, must be wondering what's happening here in Christchurch. He just cannot shake off the opposition. 495 kilograms, that's 1,092 pounds, and Kennedy applies his classic deadlifting technique. And success. John Paul Sigmarsson now summoning up the mental powers. He's quite prepared to fight it out with the likes of Kennedy, Gamble, and McGee. And here he goes at that same 495 kilograms. And he makes it. Power is right. It's the turn now of Simon Wulfse of Holland. But just look at the state of his hands. Knowing him, though, it will take more than that to stop this powerhouse from giving it everything. Well, not comfortable with the board, and there's still time for a second lift. That looks like the limit for the brave Dutchman. Now, John Gamble from the University of Virginia, USA. Still no thumbs up from both judges. Big John will need to take a lift to starboard to get that left shoulder up. If he does, good lift, and John must be pretty pleased with it. I'll explaining to one and all how he got that left shoulder up. Just like that. So the stage is left to Kennedy, Sigmarsson, and this fella, Tom McGee. He goes at his awesome weight of 495 kilograms. That's 1,092 pounds.
Got it? Get on.